Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you will have to wait because my website is currently undergoing some much needed TLC, so stay tuned for that. And also, if you haven't seen it, please don't forget you can still purchase the webinar that I did with Heather from Astrology with Heather. It's called Viewing the Bigger Picture. The link is in the description box below. It's a donations based webinar, so you can pay what you like. This is like 3.5 hours of content where we talk about the next 6 years, the big trends and themes, and if I don't say so myself, some a couple of spicy topics. So you know, at your own leisure or peril, take care with that. Have a look at that if you should so choose. So with that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So with that said, let's get into it. For your key to the week, you have the Death card. Now it's interesting because a lot of people see this card and they're like, oh my gosh, and everyone knows me when I see the big one, which is like somebody actually passing, I always tell you, but it's not always that. And this time I actually feel like this is in response or relation to an aspect of yourself. Sometimes what dies is a part of us or a version of us that no longer resonates with the next place that we want to be in our lives, with the next level that we want to go to, with the next thing that we want to resonate with. And sometimes that is an aspect of us that we need to let go, or to see the winter of its expression within us. For your actions and options this week, you have the Queen of Wands. So you've got the Lady of Fire in your actions and options. And I very often see this card as needing to really set your boundaries. And it does feel like this week, one of the things that are coming up for you is this aspect of yourself that you're letting go or phasing out. It requires action. It requires you to put your money where your mouth is. This week you are going to have to show up for yourself in ways that you maybe haven't for a while, or in ways that maybe you stopped showing up for yourself in. This is about you setting a boundary or drawing a line with something. And I'll be honest with you, Taurus, I get this sense here with the Queen of Wands that this week there may be a challenge that comes up, and it might be something that you usually shy away from, or maybe something that you try to brush under the carpet or try to ignore. You can't do that this week. You are going to be pushed or pulled or maneuvered into a space where you are going to have to act, and you are going to have to make the choice. You have to make the choice for yourself. And remember, if you are feeling a divine nudge in a specific direction, there is a reason behind that. Follow it, see it through to completion, and see where it is or who it is that you end up as next. For your communications and conversations, you have the Four of Cups. So you have new information, and you have also new energy coming in for you. Remember, the Four of Cups is, it's very often something that a lot of people say this is about gratitude. And it can be that if it has certain cards with it. But for you guys, I actually feel like this week there is knowledge or information that's coming in, possibly that you aren't aware of, or maybe it's that final piece of the puzzle that you were trying to get hold of, or maybe it's that part of the puzzle that you kind of think, oh, you know what, maybe I'm never going to know that. Whereas this week, I kind of feel like it shows up for you, and it's going to really give you this understanding of how to manifest the things that you want. It's going to be through your connection with others this week that you are going to be able to create the things that you want. It's also going to be through your connections with others this week that are going to show you not only how much you have, but more importantly, how far you've come. There is a real sense this week that you're going to start to understand not only how to level up, but the fact that you already have. For your money and materials, you've got the Page of Pentacles. if you have a personal business, if you have a side hustle, if you have a side project or business, this week you have to put your heart and soul into it. You are going to have to put not only your money where your mouth is, right? When you're setting your boundaries and being firm about things, this is going to be a week where you have to show up. You're going to have to put the work in. Taurus is not afraid to get their hands dirty. Taurus is not afraid of hard work. You guys are grafters through and through. It's one of the things that I love about you, right? It's one of the things that I absolutely love about Taurus, because it's a fixed sign, right? And that energy, very often, that's the sort of person that you want in your corner to help you get shit done. And this week you have to show up for yourself that way. This week you have to understand how far you've come, and you need to go with that energy, that new sense of self, that new sense of boundaries, that yes, that no, that whatever it is that you've gained clarity on this week, you need to move forward with that. And as you're doing so, when it comes to your business, when it comes to your work, when it comes to your job, you have to show up for yourself the way that you would show up for everybody else. You have to show up for your business above and beyond everything and everyone else this week. You have to show up for your money, your job, more than you would everything and anyone else this week, right? This week it's about being really self-focused and self-directed, but focusing on what is yours, right? That doesn't mean you can't be compassionate, doesn't mean you can't be kind, it doesn't mean you can't still offer amazing service. It means that you are prioritizing yourself for a change. When it comes to your physical health, very much you are the project this week, right? This is about you saying, right, okay, whatever it is that I want to fix, whatever it is that I want to work on, whatever it is that I want to do, I'm the project. And that's where you're putting your energy, that's where you're putting your focus. For your environment, as in when it comes to your home, it looks like a lot of you are working on either, I know this is going to sound really odd, but I'm going to say it anyway. It looks like you're either working on the gates or the doors to the property. And it looks like as well, I'm getting this sense that a lot of you are either working on the grounds, as in the garden. If you don't have a garden, maybe it's the balcony. Do you know what I mean? Like, it looks like you're working on the very... almost like the very structural things, like the things that are all about what comes and goes, like all of that kind of stuff. Very interesting. And then for your love and relations, you have the 6 of Cups. Now, this is really nice. For some of you, I feel like this is you really reminiscing with somebody. And the interesting thing is, although it's a reconnection, I don't get the sense that it is a reconnection as in, you know what, let's do this. I feel like it's just a very enlightened or awakened approach to really staying in contact with somebody that you absolutely have loved at one point, but is no longer meant to be that person for you. I think this is about you clearing up, and you know, so remember, your love and relations isn't just about your personal relationships. This could be your platonic relationships and also your familial connections. And it really feels like this week you are clearing up your relationship sector and saying, look, you know what, I don't love you any less. I just know that this connection maybe isn't necessarily the right one, or something about it needs to change or evolve. For those of you that are partnered, it looks like you guys are thinking about ways that you can get back to the honeymoon period. It also feels like you are starting to maybe not necessarily make your marriage more of a priority, but well, yeah, actually, no, yeah, it's exactly that, right? But there's a strong sense of communication this week about what your needs are as a collective. And this week you could really be addressing what is either not working, or what you feel or your partner feels maybe is encroaching on your relationship. So really nice, actually. This is a great week for that. But underlying all of this, or overarching all of this, remember, there is an aspect of you that is newly evolved. Doing a little dab there. There's a little, sorry, I'm such a dork. There's a little bit of a feeling here that something about you this week has evolved, has changed. And in order to move forward, you have to align everything in your life with that new vibration so that you can keep it. Remember, when you vibrate at a new level, it's not an event, it's a process. And so if everything doesn't match that new level that you get to, it all starts to unravel or recede, and then you go back to where you were. And that can be across the board with many things. I know this because it's one of the things that I'm learning about my journey with my weight. So, I can speak on this one for real. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Who's the new you? All right, take care, and I'll see you soon.